The Trumpet Daily Update from Jerusalem.
Hello everyone, we're back on the YouTube channel, and behind me is the Dead Sea, and all around me is a lot of heat. It's really hot today, about 110, 115 degrees. We've spent some time in Jerusalem doing some filming while we were up there. We'll have a clip from that in just a second, but just one note that I didn't bring out on the little recording there is that the iPad, some of the equipment that we use, got so hot that it just stopped, and so the temperature was too hot. So we've had to work through a few little tricks here and there to keep everything working smoothly. And hopefully when we film these segments on TV, the little beads of moisture all over my face won't be so noticeable that it's a big distraction. In any event, we've pushed our way through it. I think we've produced some pretty good segments here. This location, for as hot as it is and for as much as I wouldn't want to just hang out here on a day like today, it does provide a really amazing backdrop once again for the program. You can see the Dead Sea behind, but also really there's signs everywhere that says danger, don't go down here because there's sinkholes. And you can see some sinkholes actually back in the distance there. The whole area is still sinking. In fact, the Dead Sea is shrinking just because there's no fresh water that comes into it, and these shorelines, you can imagine, probably had water that came up quite a bit farther than they do right now. So it's a desolate, lifeless, barren area, and all of that, I think, is very symbolic, not only of what's happening to this world, but it serves as a lesson because of what happened in this whole region when God scorched the earth, basically, and then threw brimstone on top of it, as we know from Genesis 18 and 19, in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. So it's been a good active day once again, and we'll look forward to keeping you posted through the course of this week if we have opportunity. So we'll cut away now to another little clip that we recorded overlooking the old city in Jerusalem. Behind me you can see what's commonly assumed to be the Temple Mount platform, in the middle of which are the two famous Muslim mosques. And just a few comments that I'll say here about this location, which, as you can see, is ideal for capturing a dramatic backdrop of what most people associate with Jerusalem today, this gold dome in particular. And I think it was back in 1995, we had come here the first year in 94, and we found a location south of the city that was pretty good. It wasn't the greatest, but we tried to get up as high as we could, and we tried to find a fairly secluded area just for privacy's sake, and ended up taping there, and they came out okay. And then I think the next year that we came, back in 1995, it's somewhere around there, that we did some more exploring, and we traveled through the hills of East Jerusalem here, and just happened to stumble upon this park that kind of lines or climbs up the Mount of Olives. And there's some sites to our south, and I think maybe even to the north, but the real big one, the real big tourist stop, is to our south, where they take all the buses and such, and people empty off. There's this gorgeous platform there where they can get their pictures and such. But meanwhile, there's this park here which has this winding path that works its way from near at the bottom all the way up to the top of this mount. And we're able to come up here, and every time that we've come here, we've maybe passed a few people. It just is hardly ever used. When we were walking up today, we passed about 8 or 10 people that were having some kind of service up there, and they walked down in their nice clothes with their Bibles in hand and so on. They passed by, and since that time, we've taped a segment here. We've been here quite a while before and after, and nothing, no traffic or anything. So every time we come to Jerusalem with the TV camera, we remember this spot with great affection, because we've taped here numerous times over the years. We haven't come to Jerusalem as much in the last decade or so, but when we did a few years ago to resume some taping with the Key of David, we came right to the same location. 10 whatever years had gone by, and it was the same as it was back in the mid-90s. So hopefully while we're here for these 2 weeks, we can get 2 or 3 programs taped from this location with this backdrop behind me serving as the scenery.